Okay, we're going to work on some beginner basic stuff. The first thing we want to do always is get a good tuning from our guitar. That's beginner basic number one. You can always tell a beginner because they're always slightly out of tune. Get a good tuner on your board. Just make sure you have a tuner. I mean, even a crappy tuner is fine. This is like a $20 tuner. Click, K-L-I-Q. It's not even that accurate, but it seems to be good enough, especially for 20 bucks. Most of the time when you hit it, the signal will mute, so people don't have to hear you going down. So you just turn on the tune up. Check your tuning. You can hear the notes kind of wave, they wobble when they're out of tune. That's good, that's in tune. That's out of tune. My low E is out of tune. So I can do it by ear now. So wait till the wobbling stops. There we go. So it's solid. Okay. Getting the sound. First of all, a tube amp, something with tube, always sounds better, in my opinion. The best thing to do is to get a little tiny bit of distortion on your amp. If you have a gain and a master, or a gain and a volume, the volume is the volume of the signal, how loud it is. The gain is how distorted it's going to be, how hot the signal is. So here, it's a little bit of distortion. If I play lightly, it's clean. If I dig into it, that's a light crunch, they call that, or classic rock kind of crunch. That's how I like to set my amp. What I generally do is I keep my gain at about, I don't know, it's halfway. It depends on what guitar. Humbuckers are going to be louder guitars, and something like a Strat with single coils are going to be lower, so you could always have to use more gain for a Strat or a Tele, but humbuckers will just be hotter, you could use less gain. So I got my gain on half, I've got my volume very low because I'm in the bedroom, so I don't want to be too loud, and there's my light crunch. Now I can control my volume with my volume dials, okay? It's all about control. Okay, so if I want to, let's say I want to play something very sweet and jazzy, I know I'm going to go up to this neck pickup. That's the sweet, jazzy, bassy sounding stuff. This is going to be for this pickup here. It's going to be for the hard rock stuff, brighter. And then when I go back up here, it's sweeter. It doesn't really work. So if you want to do that Pink Floyd kind of stuff, it's good right up here. Use the neck pickup. Okay. So then from there, I could also use my fingers. Fingers will give me a little different tone. I've got my tone dial. I could get it a little bassier by taking some treble off. Let's get back to that Floyd kind of stuff. Let's say you're doing a progression E minor to C. Now there are ways to spice up this stuff. Instead of playing a regular E minor chord like this, 1 and 2, try this one. Keep the 1, 2nd fret, 2nd string there, and then the next one, use your pinky on the 4th fret. It's like an E minor 9th. So it looks like that. So 1st string, nothing. 2nd string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 4th fret. So it's like a better E minor, more exotic sounding. That's another thing I like to do, pick upwards. Get a rhythm going. Okay, there's a good E minor. To C, it sounds too happy. I don't know. So I'm going to change that one too. The first notes keep the same on the C chord, these two notes, but instead of hitting there on the open C, I'm going to use my pinky again on the 3rd fret. So I'm going to change my fingering so I don't have to use my pinky, it's awkward. So I'm going to go 1, that's the middle finger, 3rd fret. Okay, same two notes from that open G chord, open C chord. In the 3rd string, I'm on the 2nd fret. Okay, and then my ring finger, I'm putting it on the B string, on the 5th string here, 3rd fret. So I got 2 here on the 3rd fret, 1 on the 1st. It's a nicer C, better than. So if I'm going to do here's a little nicer version, you know. And here's a picking way. I think this was Led Zeppelin live. Did this one. Same progression. E minor 9. More about tone now. I'm going to turn that tone knob back up, get it a little brighter. Alright, so we want to change our tone a little bit. This is a tube screamer, Ibanez TS9. A lot of people use these with tube amps. I suggest getting one. You could buy one used off of Reverb or Craigslist really cheap. Get a TS9 or TS808, just a classic tube screamer. They make a tube screamer mini now. What it does, it basically takes your sound and makes it more rock. It takes the mid-range, not the bass, not the treble, but the mids, and it accentuates it, and it also makes your tubes just work a little harder. So you're kind of like taking your own amp and you're accentuating it, giving it a little more juice instead of just adding a distortion pedal. Now the secret to getting that right is using this as a boost, not as an overdrive pedal. So what you do is you take the level is like the volume of the effect, is just the regular volume. You bring it all the way up to the top. Okay, this is the tone. Keep the tone, I like it before 12 o'clock, so you're not adding any extra treble information to the signal, just 12 o'clock or a little below. And then this is the gain, which is the amount of distortion. You're going to set that to taste. Okay, so here's my sound that I set right from the amp. It's just barely crunchy. I gotta dig into it to get the crunch. Okay, could even go a little crunchier, just a little. At that point where it just breaks up and still kind of clean too. See? Mild crunch. Now you add the tube screamer, kick it in. Folk chords, a G, D, A, so instead of using an A like this, 3 fingers, most people just kind of bar it. So what I'm doing here with my thumb is I'm muting out the E. I don't even know I'm doing it, but I'm doing it because I'm dealing with the 2nd position chord now, which is based on the 2nd string, an A. You can move that up one and bar it. This is second position. So if I keep this A going, and every once in a while hit the A chord, I'm digging into it here, and I'm muting here. So I'm keeping this A going, muting with my right hand to get this kind of effect. Not too tight, not too loose. And now I'm going to press the A chord with my left, muting with this hand and this hand. Take that A and move it up to the 5th fret. So I'm playing here, I'm riding on the 2nd string, and then those 3 I'm barring with one hand. So 5th fret, okay. You could also just take 2 fingers and just deal with those 2 notes instead of barring it all. So like this. That way you're able to shake it too. A little vibrato always sounds professional, you know? So 5th fret, you could try it on the 7th fret too. Try messing around with it. Bring this note down 1 fret. Bring it back. So that's 2nd position chord. The 1st position chord is dealing with the E string, and then these 2 notes. Same thing, you just move it up. Work on your tone. Too much distortion is going to be horrible. You're not going to have any control. Not enough distortion, it's going to just, you know, it's not going to work. A little distortion, yeah. But not too much. And too much distortion is just horrible. It's a typical beginner mistake. So keep it low. Use your volume dial to control your gain. It gives you good control. So the whole set, I'll turn it up all the way like this. And when I'm ready to play, I ease it back to here. That'll be my whole set volume. Now when I'm ready to hit a solo, or if I need extra volume, I've got that extra turbo boost on board, and I kick it up to 10. Some more metal kind of stuff, I got to add another overdrive or a distortion or something on top of the TS9. That's what I like to do. I call that stacking overdrive pedals. So here's no pedals. Here's the TS9 Tube Screamer. Okay, and here's the TS9 plus the exotic SL drive, which is a little black pedal right next to the green.